Referendum 74 enforces Senate Bill 6239, which modifies state marriage law to reflect inclusive, gender-neutral language for identifying spousal categories, provides for interstate reciprocity, and protects religious institutions against civil action who do not wish or object to performing religious marriage ceremonies of same-sex couples.
We think Washington State is a pacesetter for a lot of human rights issues, from low-income families to immigrants' rights to even being one of the few states that offers protection for all children in schools, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. And we feel that the rest of the country is watching what Washington State is doing and has really high hopes for us to do the right thing.
I believe that there should be marriage equality because I believe that if somebody wants to get married, I believe that they have a right to get married. Mm-hmm. I do not believe that the state should dictate whether somebody should be allowed to get married based on religious bias. Okay. I think if two consenting adults want to enter into a marriage contract, I believe that they should have the right to do that.
Okay.
Right now we don't have marriage equality in Washington State. We have domestic partnerships, and I supported those. But I think the main reason that we really need marriage equality in Washington State is because it gives the message that same-sex couples have the same worth and dignity as all other couples. When we don't have marriage equality, it's like saying to same-sex couples that, hey, you're a second-class citizen. We have several same-sex couples within this congregation. And I know from talking to them that their marriages, their relationships are just as real and just as genuine as those of different sex couples. And I look forward to the day that that federal law recognizes same-sex marriage. And with the coming Supreme Court session, that could be soon. And there's a lot of real benefits, financial benefits, that heterosexual couples don't have, that heterosexual couples have that same-sex couples don't. And I think it's unconscionable that we treat same-sex couples differently. I don't think we need second-class citizens in Washington State.
I think it's important that it becomes legal in the state, because I think the more states that pass these laws are going to put pressure on the federal government. Mm-hmm. So on that level, I think it really needs to be done. Being that we're federal workers, we can't get combined medical insurance. Okay. And that's a huge one, because mm-hmm. we're both paying for single policies right now. Mm-hmm. And we have adopted 2 children. Mm-hmm. And had we added them to a family plan, we would still be paying for a family plan, and then we'd also be paying for a single plan on top of it.
Right.
So we'd be paying about $300 more a month than most people would.
Wow.
Just because we can't get legally married. And that's a big chunk of money. Mm-hmm. I mean, on top of childcare costs and food costs and housing and everything else, I mean, that's a pretty big difference.
As a minister who officiates weddings for members of my congregation, I look forward to the day that I can sign that legal document right here in the sanctuary, and I don't have to drive to another state to do that.
Love is never wrong, and it shouldn't make any difference whether it's a heterosexual couple or a same-sex couple. Marriage is a divine institution based on love, and same-sex couples can love each other and provide love for children just as well as heterosexual couples can.
We have several children in this congregation who have parents in same-sex relationships. And I think it's so important for those children to know, hey, my mom's relationship is just as valid and just as important as other relationships. When kids are little, They don't say, hey, I want to grow up and be in a domestic partnership. They say, hey, I want to grow up and get married. And teenagers say the same thing.
We enjoy a lot of privileges that same-gender couples don't enjoy. So, for instance, when I gave birth to our daughter, he didn't have to adopt her.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to have home visits from social workers to assess the suitability of our home. So, and for same-gender couples, the child is a planned pregnancy. There are no surprises. The child is wanted and cherished, and we think that should be the message to all of our children. And that we should be able to express to them that their parents' relationship is also valued and respected. We think Referendum 74 benefits all families. It provides equal protections under the law, and it impacts a lot of the systems that we all interact with, from schools to hospitals, and provides an increased amount of care and services to everyone.